It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. The search continues for a man who held up a Wallsend service station at knife point. The man entered the BP outlet on Newcastle Road just after 11 last night and threatened the 19-year-old male service station attendant. The man had fled on foot with cash and cigarettes. He's described as being 25 to 35 years old and was wearing a dark hoodie and dark pants. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. The Catholic Church is under renewed pressure following the sentencing of one of its highest-ranking priests in Newcastle local court. Archbishop Philip Wilson will most likely serve a minimum of 6 months in home detention for concealing the child sex abuse crimes of former Hunter priest James Fletcher. Abuse survivor Peter Gogarty says if Philip Wilson doesn't resign, the Pope should intervene.
How on earth can somebody that's been convicted of knowing that children were being abused by a Catholic priest remain the Archbishop of Adelaide? If the Archbishop doesn't resign, I've said it before, the Pope needs to sack him. If the Pope won't do it, the Pope becomes part of a laughingstock.
Two men will face court over a wild brawl at Ferris Oval in Charlestown yesterday afternoon. Police responded to reports of a group of people fighting using makeshift weapons. However, they fled when officers arrived and police used mobile phone footage to arrest two men aged 19 and 30. They've been charged with a fray. Police are still looking for the other people involved. A new bus timetable for Newcastle and Lake Macquarie has been released following intense backlash since its launch in January. Private transport operator Keolis Downer is encouraging commuters to get to know the new timetable before it comes into effect on July 29. Corporate Affairs Director Andrew Fletcher says the changes address the bulk of customer feedback received on the new network since it was launched 6 months ago.
We've been listening to our customers since the rollout of the network back in January, which was the first major redesign of the network since 2008 and over a decade. So the refinements that we're announcing today are focused on extending a number of bus routes, predominantly from Swansea Head through to Charlestown.
Cessnock Mayor Bob Pinsent is up in arms over the state government's decision to slash the funding to more than 360 libraries across New South Wales. The government has recently announced they'll be cutting funds to local libraries, including those at Cessnock and Kurri Kurri, by up to 18%. Bob Pinsent says the possible lack of library services would be disastrous for the surrounding communities.
Well, I certainly hope it doesn't have any effect on the young people who are involved in learning in our local government area. We currently have probably 50% of our households don't have a home computer, and the libraries at Kurri Kurri and Cessnock are used to support the education of our young people.
Sport for our sponsor, PRD Nationwide East Maitland.
The Newcastle Jets will be using their upcoming pre-season tournament as a trial run as they fly out for China today. The side will use the experience as preparation for their Asian Champions League playoff match in February. Coach Ernie Merrick has picked a squad of 17, including Broadmeadows' James Virgili, who's trialling with the A-League side. Knights coach Nathan Brown is still undecided on who will take the fullback position in the absence of Kalen Ponga. Connor Watson and Nick Meaney are vying for the spot, with both given 3 training sessions to stake their claim. Meaney is a natural fullback, but is already linked with the Bulldogs for next season. Cessnock's Kurt Warden could be facing an extended stint on the sidelines after the judiciary issued a mid-range striking charge. Warden was involved in a fight in the aftermath of the Goannas match with Maitland. A minimum 4 weeks is the charge, but the forward could spend up to 8 weeks due to prior offences. And in local football, Lambton have been dealt another blow with midfielder Luke Remington fracturing his hand. He's set to have surgery and could miss up to 8 weeks, joining the Jaffers' growing injury list. And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 27, 23, 18, 10, 4, 9 and 16, and the supplementaries are 41 and 35. 2NURFM News Time, 26 to 9.